Joining us now, Congressman Jeff Van Drew from the House Homeland Security Committee. Congressman, good to see you. We've already heard a couple of misstatements from the president on guns and weapons. One on cannons back during the Revolutionary War. Another one on 9mm arms rounds specifically. What do you expect to hear from him tonight as he addresses the nation?
Well, this is all politics. So, part of what he's trying to do as these horrific events take place, and they are horrific, make no mistake about it. No legal, good gun owner, which is 99% of gun owners, ever wants to see this. But rather than trying to come up with real solutions, he's scaring people, he's making misstatements, he's mischaracterizing the Constitution of the United States of America. There are answers out there, just like my initiative, which would be strong schools legislation, which would ensure that before anybody could go into a school, they had to be buzzed in. There would always be a resource officer there. And not only that, once they were buzzed in, they would go into an ante room before they could actually get in the school. So the resource officer could particularly eye this person up to make sure that they belong there, to make sure that they're not bringing any kind of bomb or gun or anything that shouldn't be there. And then they get the second buzz in and they can go in. But if it isn't appropriate, then we have that person in a sense almost where we want them to make sure they can't go in and hurt anybody. Yeah. These are the types of answers that really make sense. And by the way, so does bulletproof glass in those areas, so they can't even shoot their way through.
Congressman, already
that'll protect children. That'll protect people.
Already, Senator Schumer sort of wiped out the Republican measure to tighten school security. And so far, we haven't heard. We may hear from the president tonight about tightening school security, but so far, it's just all been about guns.
And that is asinine, because you know what? If you take a certain gun away, there's going to be other guns. They can make guns. There's things that can happen. And the people who are doing this, whether it are mental health issues in these recent cases, or whether they're gangbangers and criminals in our cities where the rate of violence is going up, they don't care about the law. They're breaking the law. Killing people is against the law. They understand that and they don't care. So this kind of gun control doesn't really do anything at the end of the day. We need protection. And I'm so unbelievably disappointed that Democrats would say they don't want to do this. The only reason they don't want to do it is because some Republicans think that it's a good idea. That's wrong. Yeah. This will protect children. It will protect people. And I ask people to think about this legislation, and it's on my website, because basically it's going to stop anybody from going forward and doing this. Well, just making a gun illegal is not going to.
Let me just ask you finally.
To purchase a gun illegally.
Yeah, we're running out of time, but the president's comments on 9mm rounds concerned a lot of gun owners, people who have 9mm guns, who are concerned because they use those guns to protect their family and themselves at home. Do you have constituents that are concerned that there may be some Trudeau-like measure to try to confiscate or prevent any sales of 9mm guns in America?
Of course I do. Let's really be honest here. The bottom line of what the Democrats want to do is take all guns away. They won't admit it. They want to do it gradually. They want to do it piece by piece. But mischaracterizing what a gun is and it is not, a 9mm gun does not do what the president says it does. So he ought to at least sit down with his staff and understand what he's talking about and understand what these different guns are about, but he doesn't. So he's just going to say whatever really exaggeration gets all people afraid and fired up and scared more than they already are, but we can have answers to protect. Protecting is the answer. Protecting our children, protecting our babies. This administration isn't worried about that. Those bad things that happen because of those that have mental issues, which we need to deal with that in a real serious way, which he has not.
And tighten up the schools. I mean, you got to focus on that. That's something where you could have a bipartisan support. Congressman Jeff Van Drew, thank you very much. We've got to leave it at that, sir. Thank you. Appreciate it. Have a good weekend.